Today, we'll uncover the forgotten story of Italy's lost kingdom, a royal dynasty of glory, betrayal, and downfall that shaped the very birth of modern Italy. Before Italy was unified, it was a land divided, a mosaic of territories ruled by kings, popes, and emperors who fought not just for power but for their very survival. And among them stood one of Europe's most powerful and splendid royal houses, the Bourbons of the Two Sicilies. Their capital, Naples, glittered like a southern Versailles. Imagine a court of unparalleled splendor. The royal family dined under gilded ceilings, surrounded by priceless art, enchanting music, and wealth almost beyond imagination. The kingdom was a beacon of culture and opulence, a jewel of the Mediterranean that seemed eternal. But even as the Bourbons basked in their luxurious world, the seeds of revolution were quietly taking root in the shadows. Across the Italian peninsula, whispers of freedom, nationalism, and unification began to spread like wildfire, challenging the old order. In 1859, a young and inexperienced king, Francis II, the last of his line, inherited the throne. He ascended at a perilous moment, a time when the world was changing faster than any crown could hold. While the devout king prayed for peace and the preservation of his kingdom, the unstoppable fire of rebellion was already sweeping down from the north, threatening to consume everything in its path. The storm was coming, and a single man stood at its heart: Giuseppe Garibaldi. Known as the General in Red for the iconic shirts worn by his men, Garibaldi led his volunteer army, the Red Shirts, through Sicily and marched relentlessly up the peninsula toward Naples. The same people who had once praised their king and celebrated his family now lined the streets to cheer for Garibaldi, hailing him as the liberator of Italy. The tide of history was turning, and it was turning against the Bourbons with incredible force. King Francis II faced an impossible choice. Should he defend his crown with bloodshed, plunging his kingdom into a brutal civil war, or should he surrender to the seemingly inevitable march of history? He chose loyalty to his people and his duty, but history showed no mercy. The Bourbon army, despite moments of fierce resistance, ultimately fell. The magnificent royal palace was stormed, and the kingdom of the Two Sicilies, after more than a century of rule, ceased to exist. In 1861, Italy was officially unified under a new monarch, Victor Emmanuel II, who became the first king of a new united Italy. The dream of Italian patriots had been realized, but it came at the cost of another kingdom's demise. Yet, even in their comprehensive defeat, the Bourbons left behind a strange and haunting legacy, one of pride, deep tragedy, and lingering mystery. Some say that the last king, Francis II, cursed the new Italy before his fall, vowing that no ruler after him would ever find lasting peace. And as you look at the years that followed, filled with brutal wars, dictatorships, and deep-seated divisions, some began to wonder if that whispered curse was real. The grand palaces of Naples still stand today, silent and beautiful witnesses to the fall of a dynasty that once ruled half of Italy. Inside, their portraits remain kings and queens who believed they could rule forever, and a crown that simply disappeared into the pages of history. This is the incredible story of Italy's forgotten throne, a place where immense power, unwavering faith, and inescapable fate collided to shape a nation. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden histories. We'll see you in the next video.